Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Are you just wearing the mesh?
No, I'm wearing stuff under too.
It is cold with the wind.
With the wind, yeah. Alright, yeah.
You good? What is up, guys? The sun is shining, but it is cold. Cold just because it's windy, and cold, well, because it's cold. My friend Adam back there looks like he just has a thin hoodie on with a mesh jacket, and he's probably suffering. Just because I'm feeling the cold and I'm bundled up. Like, I'm bundled up well. So, I really don't know how he's managing with this wind. You know, and I even now regret not wearing my thick gloves. So hopefully he hangs in there. But I hate days like, well, I don't hate days like this, but you know, days like this where it just looks so nice. Sun is shining. Beautiful blue sky. You hop on the bike and it's like freezing. Definitely wore the wrong gloves. But anyhow, hope you guys are staying safe. Hope you guys are figuring out this, well, most of the country is under the stay-home order. California, we've been under the stay-home order for a little bit now, and we've been trying as much as possible to adhere to that. Obviously, I'm out today on my bike, so I am not adhering to the stay-home order, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not visiting any stores. I'm not interacting with people except for my friend. But I do know there are a bunch of residents in my city that are disregarding every social distancing law, etc. Like, you go to the park by my house, it's just packed like it would be every other day. And so that kind of causes a little bit of concern for me. The only time we go out is, you know, to buy groceries. That's about it. And so, you know, I can see why it's not that big of a deal to the residents of this city, just because where a lot of the other parts of California have been seeing a tremendous amount of cases. We just recently had our 7th total. One guy recovered. The very first case, confirmed case, recovered. The second one, unfortunately, she passed away. But that might have been due to some other issues, just because she had recently had surgery and had a lot of other health complications. So, you know, I don't think it's as real to people in the city, just because the number of cases is so low. But that's the point, is you take it seriously so that the numbers stay low. So anyway, we're trying to do our part, staying secluded, sheltered in, except for my occasional bike rides around town. And I'm not even around town. I try to stay off the grid, you know, as much as possible. Man, my buddy's probably getting hammered back there. He's probably not enjoying this ride the least bit. I'm gonna pull over and ask him. Maybe he doesn't want to continue, just because I don't want him just to suffer. But anyway, yeah, so that's kind of, you know, where we're at. And I'm a self-employed business owner, and so life hasn't changed that much for me in the least bit. Most of my work I do online and virtually, so really, people are like, oh, how are you doing? And I'm like, to be honest, life is the same. I mean, I have my kids at home now, which is nice. I actually enjoy it because they're older, can kind of manage themselves. But as far as daily rhythm, things haven't changed. For the clients, the people I meet with here local, I do have several clients that I meet with locally here in town. Obviously we do Zoom and Skype or whatever they have, whatever they're comfortable with. But other than that, you know, most of my stuff is virtual, and it hasn't really affected us. A lot of the stores are still open here, essential goods, like Costco and Trader Joe's, and so really life has pretty much been the same. I don't know how it's been affecting you guys out there. Hopefully you guys are staying sane, safe, healthy. And the areas you're in are not too affected by this virus. We're just hoping that it gets warm real quick, because I think the warm weather will just kill it off. But what do I know? I'm not a doctor. Let me ask him for a second. Are you okay?
Yeah.
It's not too cold?
I'm getting there, we're okay.
Oops, turn my high beams on. He's like, he's okay, but we were going about 40. Here the speed limit's 50. He does have a little windscreen, so that should help take a little bit of wind off his chest. So I've shared before, I'm kind of a, eternal optimist, and I do look at the bright side of things, and I do look at, what else can you do? You can sit and mope about what you don't have, or you can thrive in what you do have. And so I'm trying to just enjoy the time we have as a family together. I know my senior is super sad, just because, and seniors around the country are sad because they're not going to get, their prom, the senior trip is canceled, their graduation, what are they going to do? So that really sucks. My son is a baseball player. He's super sad that the season was cut short. But at least he's a freshman. I mean, I feel for the varsity guys who were trying to make a school, college school. What are they going to do? The college guys that are trying to make a pro team. So, I try to tell my son, look on the bright side. And yeah, the ironic thing is, like, gas is at like an all-time low, but no one's driving anywhere. Which is why it's at an all-time low. Supply and demand, right? But I try to stay positive as much as possible. Try to kind of teach my kids to stay positive as much as possible, and to not focus on what they're missing out on, which is hard, I understand, especially for kids. But to enjoy, to make the best out of what we have, to make lemonade with these lemons. And so, for them, it's getting better at something, learning something new. For myself, I'm trying to read a whole lot more. My goal is always kind of a book a month. But I realize my schedule hasn't changed. I'm still working, and it's not like so I can't necessarily be as ambitious as my kids, but just trying to get them to be a little motivated and take advantage, so that when this all passes over, they've actually grown. They've come out better for it. So, teaching them a new instrument, or whatever that looks like. Learning a new language. Getting better. So for my son, it's like, oh, baseball season is canceled, but get stronger, get better. Go out there and hit the ball off the tee, or whatever you need to do to get better. And I see it takes a little bit more effort to stay connected, and I see that happening just with friends, with family, even with co-workers and teams, where they might be in the cubicle next to you, but it's like you never talk with them. But there's a little bit more effort to stay connected, to communicate. So those are the things that I see as positive. Yeah, this virus sucks, and people are dying, and that really, really sucks. And So I think, we just can't take it lightly. It just blows my mind that people don't take it lightly. Like that group of spring breakers I think I saw in the news. I don't know, I didn't even verify it or not, but I just saw something flash in Twitter that said, 70 spring breakers went, 44 have the virus. And it's like, you're not helping flatten the curve at all. And I mean, let me get on my soapbox for a little bit. I'm a huge liberties guy, okay? I believe in the amendments. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, the right to gather. But I mean, come on, guys, use some common sense. Use some common sense. Yes, I understand that you have the freedom to gather, but you're not contributing to the solution. And in my personal opinion, any church or any organization that says you're infringing on our right because you're preventing us from gathering isn't thinking about the good of the country, of people around you. It's being extremely selfish. At the same time, I'm a big liberties guy, yes, but that doesn't give us the right to be immature. That's just my soapbox. You can agree to disagree. But that's just how I feel about it. That more so that we just need to take this seriously. Give it the weight that it actually deserves. My hands are cold. I really wish I brought those other pair of gloves. I tell you, these rides are what I would say are therapeutic to my soul. Someone was living out of that car. Some nice, slow, sweeping turns. My kind of road. I don't need tons of twisties. Although, don't get me wrong, this bike can handle it. Nice thing about back here is, coronavirus or not, there's never any traffic. You get residents that live back here, but that's about it. And I do see we are holding up traffic, but little bit. That traffic is gone. Somebody just has a beautiful creek flowing through their property. My hands are frozen. I think Adam's wearing even thinner gloves. But he has a Versus, and I think they have handguards, so I think he's probably in better shape than me.